Good morning, it's Mandy once again on a Sunday morning. Allendale, a beautiful village in the Central Highlands of Tasmania, and my window looks out onto the back of Mount Field National Park. It is with a little bit of delight that I put up a photo that was taken in play yesterday. And when I play, it's like a chain and it goes on and on and on. You have all these little links that you can build on. So this was the play that came out of yesterday. Normally when I play, the starting point is that I see something rich or beautiful that meets with me, and then that is my creative point for a chain. The day before I started to prepare for this event, it was a winter wedding, so I needed to have the right attire. Every wedding calls for a different attire. And as I was pulling on the black stockings, I happened to see myself in the mirror and the legs, and suddenly it was like, wow, this is rather beautiful. It was then I moved very quickly into my lounge room. I put a match to my fireplace, and then I started this beautiful act of play again, allowing the imagination to come in and just trusting what was right in the moment to create something that was beautiful, an image that might first of all strengthen my sense of self and my beauty, but then to send it out to others. I then looked around my lounge room and I thought, well, why do I have to have a picture hanging on the wall? And as you can see, I kept playing. When you start this sort of process, I find that there is normally only a couple of things that you can do, and then everything returns back to normal. The play has somehow finished. It is a moment, however, when life becomes a little bit lighter on a cold winter's day, or even in the midst of what our circumstances are, and we all have different circumstances playing out in our lives, but that little bit of play comes in, and contained in that play is imagination, but also joy. The joy just seems to come to the top. The beauty is there. It's just something that just comes alive for you. This particular chain is put aside for a little while, and at the moment, until I give you another chain, you're simply listening to the chain of music that underlies all of my videos. It's the same pattern going on and on and on. It's the Aeolian mode. It never stops, always moving, always changing, but still holding its story. I leave those words with you to sit and see how they land in your psyche. Every Monday morning, I am developing another chain in my life. I set the table up for two, as you can see, and I have the honour of having a conversation with another artist. We both have our individual aspirations as an artist, and yet we seem to meet together in this wonderful hour of connection. We are not discussing art as such. What we find keeps dropping into the conversation is how we can use our art and our authority, our knowing, our skills in transforming a community. There was no set intention to work this way when we first began. It has just happened. The interesting thing is that we both have similar skills. We are both able to write and to communicate powerfully. But there is enough space in the Central Highlands for us to be able to do our individual work. It's quite amazing how the space has opened up for each of us, and although we like to think that we have actually done that in our own strength, well, yes, partly. I tend to look at this story this morning and think, no, it's almost like there is something else playing out underneath that has created these platforms for both of us. It is quite amazing that there are 2 papers in the Central Highlands, and I have my paper and this lady has her paper. So we get to have a powerful voice using our skills and perhaps awakening the imagination in our readers, because basically that is where you have to start in transformation of any community. It is often when I am building these videos, I have to remove myself and take myself out into my garden, just so I can allow whatever it is that needs to drop in for me. We are in a society where we are so tightly structured to do everything in a certain way. So it's very important for me to just come out and just be in my space and just see what needs to come. What comes is I am extending my story, as was my intent when I started the stories. Stories go on, they move through us. They should move through us effortlessly and for the higher good of everyone. If you have enjoyed this story, perhaps in some way you might find a way to deepen and expand the story in your own way of imagination. Your imagination that plays out in the beautiful Central Highlands, where art, creativity and connection comes alive in the beautiful background of Mount Field National Park. I can give you the invitation to go the traditional way and join the Allendale Art Space group on Facebook, but remembering in the power of connection and in stories that so often connections happen outside of the normal way. So I'll leave that one up to the universe and just say thank you for watching.